recording. And then this one, once we push go live, we should have 9 seconds here.
Hi guys! We're still figuring out some tech stuff, working on that. But we're excited to be here with you today and to talk to you about our second week. So we're really excited. It's our second week. First one was invest in yourself, and this week is about vulnerability. And you might think, what? Vulnerability? What kind of word is that? To me, I think of it as you be yourself when you're parenting. Don't try to be someone else. Even if you see the perfect parent, maybe you want to be like the parent like your mom, or you want to be like someone else that you see, like your best friend. Oh, they're such a good parent. And it's good to try different ideas and stuff, but be yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Because, you know, your child is not going to trust you if you're going to be super fake or something. And so that's kind of how I think about how vulnerability can come into parenting, is that sometimes, you know, we're going to make mistakes, and we need to be able to apologize to our children and teach them that it's okay that we're not perfect, but we're trying, and try to be a little bit better. Notice our mistakes, admit them, and work on them. You know, work on our weaknesses. So
yeah, so as far as the Invest Now framework, you might be wondering why vulnerability now, because isn't N next? And that's kind of what we actually had talked about doing in our last thing. But as far as if you're on the website and you go to the framework there, you'll see that we have, as far as actually implementing these things, and when you guys opt in and get your emails, the second week, the best thing to go after you've invested in yourself and you've started to get yourself figured out and getting things right with that, and you're feeling charged and pumped and investing in yourself, that next step, as far as what we've looked at in the Invest Now framework that works best to do next, is to become vulnerable. To be vulnerable with your kids, to be vulnerable with everyone, really. So what exactly does that mean? Especially for fathers, I think that
I think it's harder for guys.
Yeah, I think it's hard for guys to admit. I think it's hard for girls too.
Because we want to be like perfect.
Yeah, well, and guys just don't like to admit that they're wrong usually. I don't, at least. So it's hard to say, yeah, I messed up, and make changes. But there's a couple things that we talk about, and we'll go into maybe some of these in some of our trainings. But one of the things that we teach is attention phrases. So getting attention phrases set up with your family so that when you make a mistake, a lot of times we don't even notice, right, that we've made a mistake. I don't anyway. Like my wife will say, you know, you were mean, and I'm like, oh yeah, I probably was. I didn't realize it at the time though. And so we've actually set this up with our kids to where we have attention phrases. We've let our kids know, hey kids, you know what, we're not perfect. And we're going to make mistakes.
Surprise, we're not perfect.
And so when we do, we want, if it's appropriate, for you to call us out on it. So one of the attention phrases that we have that our kids can use is, nobody is dying. Right?
And that's just for us. Like, yours is going to be different, of course. But that's just the thing that we tell our kids, so that when we're yelling and when we're super mad and they don't feel like that's appropriate for us to be too, you know, that mad and that maybe that loud, then they say no one's dying. Then that's, yeah.
Breaks the mood.
It's that's right.
And makes it, and just lightens the mood and gives us that, that knowledge that, hey, yeah, we are being a little too loud or too
and our kids
vocal.
Are noticing, you know.
Yeah.
They're obviously noticing
that something's up, and they so even if we're in the right, like tonight, okay, perfect example.
He's gonna tell you about tonight. Okay.
So tonight we got done cleaning up with dinner, right? Got the table all cleaned off, and I look away, and then I look back around, and Marie is running across the table, like the table that we eat on, with her bare feet. And so I kind of yelled at her a little bit, and I was like, Marie, get down. And
he got really mad.
And
kind of yelled at her a little bit. He got really mad.
Wasn't that mad.
I can hear you from upstairs.
So, so I was a little vocal, and Benson said something, an attention phrase like, "Daddy, you don't need to get that mad," or I don't think he used the exact one that we usually do. Like no one is dying, but
do you want to be in that state? I think.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, do you want to be in that state?
Do you want to stay in the state?
Do you want to stay in that state? So Benson said that, and Benson's one. He's the first one to really recognize, like, I will not recognize a lot of things, but Benson's very sensitive
to other people's feelings.
And he
knows
he'll get hurt, and he can feel when things are tense, and he doesn't like it, and so he's usually the first one to kind of call us out when
he always is. I don't think the other kids ever do. So we really appreciate that.
So he called me out, and it's hard to swallow your pride and say, yeah, but she was running on the table, and so
we just sanitized it.
Yeah, but I was able to, thanks to him, reflect right in the moment rather than later and say, you know what, I am sorry, I shouldn't have yelled. And the night just went that much better because of that. So setting up those attention phrases with your kids, again, something that's hopefully funny, maybe lighten the mood, to where you let them know that you're not perfect and you're going to make mistakes. And that gives them the opportunity to call you out on it if it's appropriate. And then the hard part often as parents, and especially for me as, I guess, prideful and I don't know, just a typical human being, not wanting to be wrong. The hard part is to swallow your pride when they do call you out and say, you know what, you
have to do it. You have to take a step back and look at their point of view.
Yeah.
Because from their point of view, they're feeling that you're too mad. And so maybe you do have a right to be angry, because obviously Marie shouldn't be standing on the kitchen table anyway. Like, she's gonna break the table, she's gonna slip and fall. There's many reasons why she shouldn't be doing that. But from his point of view, you can sit down and explain, these are the reasons, Marie, why we don't do these things. And there's lots of different tactics for behavior, depending on the personality of the child. But I did want to mention one, because he talked about Marie on the table, is instead of just yelling and automatic punishment, a lot of times if you can not get mad and think a little bit better and think straight, then you can ask yourself, what one thing, how can I give her a chance to be a good girl? How can I give her a choice that would make it better? And so, if I've got a little boy that's taking his vegetables and hiding them under the chair, and they're like, oh look, they're all done, and I've totally noticed, then I can say, instead of just punishment right there because they did something bad, I'll lean over and I'll say, okay, I saw that you put your vegetables under the chair. You still need to eat them, but just as long as you pick them up right now and eat them, you won't get in trouble, and you'll still be a good boy. And, no guarantee what they're going to choose then, but give them more chances. That will help, because then it's like they can see themselves as, oh, I'm choosing this and I can still be good. So I just kind of wanted to put that little plug in there. I don't know if it has anything to do with vulnerability, but a lot of times we're in the moment and we're angry, and then we don't give them a chance to be good. They're just naughty. And so then they think of themselves as, oh, I'm a bad girl, I'm a bad boy, or whatever. But that does help. So
yeah. So this week we'll be focusing on vulnerability all week, and doing some fun stuff with the kids. So have that to look forward to. Remember, if you haven't already, go ahead and sign in to investinyourchild.com. Click on the Take the 9-Week Challenge and take that time to invest now in your most important assets, your kids. And until then, we will see you tomorrow. Thanks a bunch.
See you later. And now he gets to go press the button. Press the button, see.
Why was there only 2 chairs?
I don't know. so you know it's done.